A woman is found dead in her home. Her partner inherits the estate. The ruling, accidental. A man is found dead in his bed. His wife tries to inherit the estate.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened. No, I don't know. I just came in. I was sleeping with my kids.
What's your first name? So what happened today?
I don't know. He was just fine. We were fine.
He's had 2 Eppies in Narcan.
Same drug. Same financial arrangement. 16 years apart. This is the story of what happens when a pattern runs in a family, and what it finally takes to stop it. Eric Eugene Richins was born on May 13, 1982, in Bountiful, Utah. He grew up on a working cattle ranch, not a comfortable childhood, a building one. Early mornings, physical labor, accountability woven into every day from the start. He was competitive, he was driven. But the people who knew Eric as an adult never led with that when they described him. What they led with was something simpler. Every single person who ever knew Eric Richins said the same thing. He was their best friend. At 19, he left Utah for a 2-year mission in Mexico City. He came back fluent in Spanish, a connection to Mexico built on faith and service that would later be twisted into something it was never meant to be. He earned a degree in international studies, co-founded C&E Stonemasonry with his business partner Kouri Richins, built it from nothing into a successful operation, backed by a $2 million buy-sell agreement that protected his stake if anything happened to him. Eric was not just a hard worker, he was a planner. By his 30s, he was the father of 3 sons, Carter, Ashton, and Weston, 9, 7, and 5 years old at the time of his death. He coached their teams, he showed up completely. He met Kouri Darden at a Home Depot register in Park City. He walked in regularly for his masonry business. His employees noticed how he looked at her before he did. Their first son was born in July 2012. They married in June 2013, a backyard ceremony. Eric's mother brought a prenuptial agreement. It was straightforward on most points, but buried in the language was a single exception. If Eric died while they were still legally married, everything transferred to Kouri. One sentence. Financial engine of everything that followed. To understand what Kouri Richins was capable of, you have to understand the household she grew up in. Her mother was Lisa Darden. Kouri described Lisa publicly as her best friend, devoted, present, supportive. What she did not always mention was that Lisa had a gambling addiction. A gambling addiction is, at its core, a specific relationship with financial desperation, the belief that pressure can be resolved not by confronting it, but by betting against it. It is also something children learn to live around. They learn what not to say. They learn how to read the temperature of a room. They learn that financial crisis is a private thing, managed quietly, concealed carefully, explained away when necessary. Kouri Darden grew up watching that. In Heber City, Utah, Lisa met a woman named Gertrude Moore. Everyone called her Trudy. They became romantic partners and built a small business together, Mountain Crest Personal Cleaning. Trudy had a legitimate prescription for oxycodone. She struggled with how she used it. On April 30th, 2006, she was found dead, foam at her nose and mouth. The cause, oxycodone overdose. The ruling, accidental. Before she died, Lisa Darden had been named the beneficiary of Trudy's estate. Detective Jeff O'Driscoll, who would later lead the investigation into Eric Richins' death, reviewed the 2006 case and wrote in a search warrant that Trudy Moore was not in a state of recovery when she died. Based on his training and experience, he wrote, that detail would likely rule out the possibility of an accidental overdose. No charges were ever filed. The case was closed. Lisa Darden moved on. And her daughter, who had watched all of it, grew up, moved to Park City, and married a man named Eric Richins. She already had a reference point for what this could look like, and what it could produce. As early as 2015, money began disappearing from Eric's accounts. Not in large amounts that would trigger immediate alarm. Gradually, the kind of financial erosion that is easy to miss when you trust the person who has access. Eric trusted Kouri completely. By 2019, the scale had shifted entirely. Without his knowledge, Kouri used his power of attorney to pull a $250,000 home equity line of credit against the family home, the house they lived in, the house their children grew up in. Maxed out almost immediately. Eric did not know it existed. By 2019, she targeted a 10-acre estate in Heber City, a 20,000 square foot unfinished mansion listed at $3.9 million with a projected $12 million return. Note the location, Heber City, the same small mountain town where Trudy Moore had died 13 years earlier. Eric said no to the deal. The couple argued repeatedly about it. Kouri pressed forward regardless. Between 2015 and 2017, she had quietly taken out at least 4 life insurance policies on Eric, totaling approximately $1.9 million. Eric had no knowledge of any of them. A handwriting expert who testified at trial stated the documents appeared to contain forged signatures. In September 2020, Eric found out about the money. $100,000 withdrawn without his knowledge, $30,000 borrowed across his credit cards, a fraudulent power of attorney used to access more. Forensic accountants would later total the full scope at approximately $494,000. He confronted her directly. She acknowledged it, promised to pay it back. She never did. By the day Eric died, Kouri was $4.5 million in debt. Her personal net worth was negative $1.6 million. In the 14 months prior, she had attempted 236 overdraft transactions, totaling more than $300,000. Her business was not struggling, it was disintegrating. Divorce would leave her with almost nothing. The prenuptial agreement had guaranteed that. Death was different, and she already knew it was possible to make death look like something else. Eric and Kouri traveled to Greece. At a bar during that trip, Kouri handed Eric a drink. He became severely ill. When he recovered, he did not call a doctor. Instead, he called his sister, Katie. He told her what he believed had happened. He named Kouri. No report was filed. The family moved on. This is the sentence that defines this case more than any other. Not the poisoning, not the financial fraud, not the forgery. The family moved on. I guess you are already angry at Eric by now. Why didn't he move out of that house after he survived and secure his life first and maybe cut ties with her? Well, stay tuned, you'll learn why. Kouri watched what happened when she tried something. She watched what investigations materialized. She watched what questions were asked and which ones were not. Greece produced no consequences, no investigation, no record. It was a proof of concept. She calibrated, and she tried again. This time, she moved smarter. In early February 2022, Kouri approached a woman named Carmen Lauber. Carmen worked as a cleaner on Kouri's properties. She had a documented criminal history connected to illegal substances. She was enrolled in a drug court program, a supervised second chance designed to keep her out of prison. Kouri came back to Carmen 4 separate times. Carmen's supplier was a man named Robert Crozier. Their transactions took place at a Maverick gas station in Draper, Utah. Digital forensics placed both their phones at that exact location on 3 dates: February 11th, February 26th, March 9th, 2022. Kouri made Eric a sandwich and left it on the seat of his truck, love note included. Eric found it. He ate it. His body responded violently. Hives, difficulty breathing, loss of consciousness. When he came around, he reached for his phone. He texted his best friend, Bryce. "You almost lost me this time. I think she might have poisoned me." Then he called 2 other close friends and told them the same thing. He called his business partner, Kouri Wright. Wright would later testify he heard a fear and urgency in Eric's voice he had only heard twice before in his life. Once when his mother died, once after a serious car accident. When Kouri texted to ask if he was okay, he told him he was thinking about going to the hospital. She told him to take a nap. 2 hours of silence followed. Kouri went back to Carmen. She needed something stronger. The specific phrase she used, according to Carmen's testimony at trial: "That Michael Jackson stuff." Investigators understood that as a reference to a substance capable of causing death. The first round had not been enough. February 26th, 3rd transaction, 15 to 30 pills, $900. Not strong enough, more needed. March 9th, 2022, the 4th and final transaction at the Draper Maverick. 6 days after Eric Richins was already dead. Hold that date.